This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Ammunition found in speaker box, a 60-year-old woman charged. The St. Elizabeth police have arrested and charged a 60-year-old woman with illegal possession of ammunition. She is Elaine Watson of Spring Park District in the parish. Reports are that on Monday, October 18, about 2 p.m., a police team searched a storeroom belonging to Watson. During the search, 2 9mm rounds of ammunition were found inside an old speaker box. She was arrested and subsequently charged. She is to appear before the Black River Parish Court. Mother pleads with police to find a missing 33-year-old daughter. A St. Catherine woman who reported her daughter missing almost 2 years ago has accused the Portmore police of doing little to locate the 33-year-old, theorizing that her child's sexual orientation may have impacted their efforts. Sandra Williams said that she has filed a missing persons report at 4 separate police stations in the past year and a half and has even written to Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson begging for his intervention after Julicia Headley left the family home to assist a friend on March 19, 2020, but has not been seen or heard from since. To date, Williams said no one has responded to her pleas or actively pursued the case. In an interview on Tuesday, hours after the country celebrating the rescuing of 13-year-old Winche Barrett and the 9-year-old Felicia Pruscio, days before following their abductions, a weary Williams shared her pain. The mother said that Headley, who was visiting her at the time of her disappearance, left home for a friend's house in Mona St. Andrew but never made it there. She said that she became aware that something was wrong when the friend contacted her in an effort to get to Headley. Williams recalled that after failing to make contact with her daughter, she filed a report with the Caymanas police on March 22, 2020, explaining that Headley lived in Westchester. The mother, who is a resident of Cumberland, said she also filed a report with the police in Bridgeport. She said that 3 weeks after filing the reports, she was contacted by an officer from the Greater Portmore Man Police Station, more popularly known as 100 Man Police Station, where the St. Catherine South Police Division's Missing Persons Unit is located. She said that she was interviewed. After they talked to me and called some of her friends, that was it. The file is sitting there at the 100 Man Police Station. That's it, Williams said. 8 months later in October, Williams said that she was contacted by an officer who informed her that the case was assigned to a detective attached to Caymanas Police Station. On October 26, 2020, Williams said the detective made contact and shared that he would be launching an investigation. He told me to keep in touch after contacting me from an anonymous number and not sharing his information with me, she said, adding that she has been unable to reach the detective since the telephone conversation, despite countless calls to the station. Frustrated, she said that she took the matter outside of St. Catherine, filing a report by the Kingston Central Police Station. That effort, too, was in vain. That is when Williams said she turned to Anderson for assistance. I am at my final point, and I am pleading with you to shed some light on my path, she wrote in a letter to the commissioner. It is not clear whether Anderson received the letter, which was handwritten and dated May 17, 2021. Williams said that despite not receiving a response, she redoubled her efforts, visiting Caymanas and 100 Man Police Stations on several occasions to locate the detective assigned to the case. They kept telling me that he was not there every time I went or would call. They kept telling me he wasn't available and they wouldn't give me his number. I tried so hard to reach him and nothing, she said. It has been a year since she last spoke to the detective, who she learned 3 weeks ago was transferred to an undisclosed location. Williams said that she was told upon receiving the news to speak back to the Missing Persons Unit. She said that after making contact, she was told by a police officer that the case would be reassigned. Until now, I haven't heard anything. I keep calling and I cannot hear anything. I've done everything possible that I could to get help. I'm only sorry I didn't have more power, the woman who has 2 other daughters said. Head of the St. Catherine South Police Superintendent Christopher Phillips, when contacted, said he would familiarize himself with the case before speaking to the news. Subsequent calls to his cell phone went unanswered. I don't know if she is of that side, why nothing is being done. They have done nothing, Williams said, later confirming that her daughter identified as a lesbian. She was the backbone of my little family. We could lean on her. It's rough. I don't think I will see her again. I'll only see her on the other side. It's almost 2 years. She wouldn't go anywhere without communicating with me. I know she's gone. She's gone. I just wish they would have treated it with a little more urgency, showed a little more care. But I can tell you that she's gone, she added. Gunman eludes cops after Grand Spend shooting. Blood trails led cops to a dead end in their search for a suspected fugitive who escaped after a shootout on Grand Spend Drive in St. Andrew yesterday morning. The investigators could not determine whether the man who narrowly escaped them was shot in the firefight or injured while making good his escape. The cops believe that the man was Sean Bell, who has been found guilty in a corporate area court of robbery with aggravation and illegal possession of firearm and was awaiting sentencing. Deputy Superintendent Colin Milanese, who is in charge of operations, told the news that a Glock pistol along with several rounds of ammunition was confiscated following a gun battle about 11:15 a.m. He is convicted in the court. He was supposed to be sentenced and has not turned up for court, Milanese said. On the approach of the police, he ran into a yard and the police gave chase. He opened fire at the police and the fire was returned. We have seen trail of blood, but it is not known if he was hit. None of our officers were injured, he added. The police say they were headed elsewhere when Bell was spotted. Residents, however, dispute the account given by the police and said there was no shootout. But upon the road and see 2 unmarked cars drive up. About 8 police come out and run over the yard and a beer shot. A female resident who said she witnessed the incident told the news. About 5 children over there and them start run up and down paranoid. Me a shout to the officer them and that never stopped them. The residents told our news team that their community, once known for sporadic violence, has been on the cooling end in recent times. We are one of the uptown garrison we used to hot. Police just a pressure the people them for nothing. Not one thing a gone in the place. Everybody frightened to hear the amount of shot we boss, said one woman. The police took in Bell's spouse for questioning. A motor vehicle belonging to her was also thoroughly inspected. Opposition calls for discontinuation of Sunday no movement days. With COVID-19 containment measures set to expire next week, opposition leader Mark Golden says the government should discontinue no movement days on Sundays. Mr. Golden says no movement days are ineffective in limiting the spread of the coronavirus.
I must say, I find the concept of the lockdown difficult to fathom. I'm not convinced that it really achieves any particular objective. And I'm against rules that encourage bungling of persons or congestion. And we know, for example, that the curfew adjustments of the past and what have often led to transportation centers being congested in the run-up or in the lead up to the shortened time frame that people have to get home before curfew. These things really need to be rethought. And so, I'm glad that the lockdown has been limited to 1 day a week. But I do think that needs further adjustment. I'm not sure we need to do that. So I think common sense messaging and conduct and examples being set by those of us who are in leadership positions, not just politicians, but the churches, they have a major role to play. And I encourage our churches, some of whom have already got on the mission of trying to encourage vaccinations. But those who have not yet done so, I would encourage them to do so. And of course, at present, we believe that in the circumstances facing Jamaica now, we need to be encouraging people rather than attempting to force them through punitive measures.
St. James Municipal Corporation councillors challenge NSWMA glossy reports. Tempers flared during last Thursday's monthly meeting of the St. James Municipal Corporation as some councillors accused the National Solid Waste Management Authority of providing favorable garbage collection reports while not providing the service to support their claims. According to Councillor Michael Troop of the Granville Division, he wants to see garbage collection in his division improved going into the upcoming Christmas season. It seems to me that it is only when it comes to council meetings that we get a good report from NSWMA, because when you go on the street it is a different thing you see. Garbage a kill we, and with garbage comes rats and mosquitoes. We have to decide what we want, good reports or action on the ground, and Christmas a come. We want to Lala, and the Lala is getting the garbage cleaned up, said True. Mount Salem's Councillor Kerry Thomas said that what he finds the most difficult to accept is the fact that they have had to be begging state agencies to do the work they are already paid to do. The reports sound all nice and dandy, but the messages we get tell a completely different story. Sometimes we just want an honest, genuine report, because if we can report to our constituents the truth, then it would be easier to handle. What is concerning is that we have to be here begging agencies to do the job they are paid to do, and that they are spending taxpayers' money, said Thomas. However, the accusations aimed at the NSWMA were sharply challenged by Anthony Murray, the councillor for the Rose Hall Division, who said he has no issues with garbage collection in his division. As the chairman of the public health in the corporation, I take offense to the attack that has been laid out towards the NSWMA this morning. I also stand to confirm that my division is clean and there is no backlog on collection, said Murray. The exchange came moments after Garnet Edmondson, the operations manager for the NSWMA's Western Parks and Market Waste Management Limited, announced that 95% of communities in St. James are currently on a regular waste collection schedule. In St. James, where we have 4 zones, we have 3 loads of backlog now, and our complaints have been down some 98% since the last reporting period. The highlight of my report is that we are now in a single-digit backlog, and we have at least 95% of our communities in St. James on the schedule presently, Edmondson told the meeting. Last October, the WPM Waste Management Limited got a new garbage truck from the Jamaica Social Investment Fund to service the communities of Granville and Mount Salem, increasing the number of government-owned garbage units that serve the western region to 28. The entity's region of service encompasses the parishes of St. James, Hanover, Trelawney, and Westmoreland. In the meantime, Montego Bay Deputy Mayor Richard Vernon, who chaired the meeting, reminded the councillors that all state bodies, including the municipal corporation, must work together to address every situation for the benefit of the constituents they represent. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.